I have switched up my cardio routine completely. I've gone from running hours and hours every single week, miles actually, to cutting right back to walking every single day, 40 minutes to an hour. But with walking, you can make a ton of mistakes. So it's really important to get walking right. Otherwise, you're not going to get results from it. And I'm going to be talking about it in this video while I'm walking on this beautiful beach. Now, I don't get to do that in my routine every single day because I'm out in Southeast Asia at the moment, but I do walk actually in my own area, and I'm going to be going into my top tips that's going to transform your body with walking. Hello fam, and welcome to my channel. My name's Melissa Neal, and this channel is all about helping you, if you're a woman over 40 or like me, over 50, get in amazing shape. And walking is one of my go-tos now. Why is walking so powerful? Well, walking's not just for weight loss. It's got overall health benefits. It's going to give you longevity. In other words, you're going to live a longer and healthier life if you walk. You're reducing your risk of many modern day diseases, and it's fantastic for your mental health. Walking is incredibly effective for women over 40 and menopausal because it's low impact and it's going to help you retain muscle mass, which becomes even more important as you age. So I'm going to talk about the 7 key mistakes when it comes to walking. Number 1, you are not walking enough. So if you're switching out 20 to 30 minutes of intense cardio and you do 20 to 30 minutes of like flat walking at slow pace like I'm doing now, it's just not going to burn the same number of calories. So what do you need to do? Well, you can increase the time that you're walking. So I know that in my 8-week challenge, for example, people can swap out the intense workouts for walking, but they actually increase the time that they're doing. So maybe swap 20 minutes of intense cardio for 40 minutes of walking, and they put on a weighted vest, and I'm going to talk about the weighted vest later. So what you want to be doing is adding 5,000 steps maybe to what you are currently doing, and people often underestimate the amount of steps that they do. So you want to be wearing a wearable. I actually wear an Apple Watch, but you can track it on loads of different devices, and you can actually buy like a step tracker really cheaply on Amazon. You don't have to have anything fancy or expensive. Mistake number 2 is not walking fast enough. So it's a bit like mistake number 1. It's kind of not intense enough. And you know, I'm doing gentle stroll here because I'm walking, but normally I'm going to get a bit of a pace on. Because what your body does is it actually adapts to the walking that you're doing. So you're going to need to increase the intensity in some way, which is walking faster. You could put the incline on if it's a treadmill, or you can add in a weighted vest. Mistake number 3 is ignoring your diet. And this is a massive mistake that I kind of made in my early days when it came to any form of exercise. You do need to be burning more calories than you're consuming. And you also need to be taking your protein high. A gram of protein per pound in body weight is absolutely ideal. And if you want, you know, a meal plan to follow for like boosting your walking, I have a complete guide on how to eat. It's my free nutrition guide and meal plan for women over 40. So do click the link below. You can download that today and start using it to make your walking much more effective. Mistake number 4 is thinking that just walking in itself is enough. And you know what? There's been a ton of studies carried out on this, that, you know, walking or any kind of exercise isn't enough. And the other exercise you really need to be focusing on, especially when you're menopausal and over 40, is lifting weights. Lifting weights is an absolute game changer, and it's really going to give you that defined body shape that you would want. And it absolutely works beautifully when you incorporate walking with lifting weights. It's a fantastic combination because walking actually doesn't damage your metabolism, and it's a really good way of kind of burning extra calories and retaining muscle at the same time. So you want to be lifting weights. Mistake number 5 is not getting creative enough with steps. So you need to be thinking every single day, how am I going to get my steps in? So today I'm kind of strolling down the beach. I'm not actually walking fast enough because I'm recording this. However, you know, earlier in the day, I was kind of walking up some steps. I did an incline walk as a warm up for my, you know, workout, my strength training workout. Then what I do, I actually have a pad, a walking pad. And through the day, while I'm on meetings, I'm actually walking. And the other thing is, when I turn up somewhere, I actually park really far away. So maybe it's a shopping mall. I'm going to park the furthest away. And my partner, Ken, absolutely loves that because he doesn't want anyone to damage his car. So if you've got a man in your life and you want to park really far away from the store, they absolutely love that, because their car isn't going to be damaged by other people's bad parking, because those spaces are usually really empty. You know, I take the stairs rather than lifts in buildings. And I'm actually staying somewhere here that has got stairs. There's no lift, and they sent me an email before we turned up saying, are you okay with these stairs? And I'm like, yes, this is wonderful, because I'm going to get a free bit of exercise while I'm here by actually just walking up the stairs to my accommodation, which I will show you in this video. I'm going to show you the steps to the villa. This is absolutely unbelievable. I'm going to film the whole thing. I've just taken it casually slow because it's quite a workout without trying to run and sprint up it, and you've got to be careful of your footing as well. And here we are. The reward at the top is the amazing view. If you're staying or you live in a really hilly area, take advantage of it. Small changes can add an extra 1,000 steps a day, and I know my walking pad was an absolute game changer. I can kind of add an extra like 5,000 to 7,000 steps per day just with the walking pad under my desk, and it's really easy. You don't even need to think about it. Mistake number 6 is not tracking your steps. So I talked about my Apple Watch tracker earlier, but any cheap tracker will do. And what you want to be doing is increasing your steps, as I said before, by about 5,000 per day on your step count, if you're doing 5,000 or 6,000. And yes, that gets you to 10,000 steps, which I know is a made-up number by a Japanese guy who invented the pedometer, but it actually works. But maybe you're doing 10,000 already, and in that case, I would highly recommend that you increase it maybe by 1,000 or 2,000 per day. So it's what I was saying earlier, your body gets used to what it's doing. So you have to add something in, whether that's adding in increased intensity or the time that you're doing or the number of steps you're doing to keep your body guessing. Mistake number 7 is sticking to the same old routine. Now, yes, you probably want to walk every day, but as I said before in mistake number 6, you want to actually add a level of intensity and mix it up in some way. So that's why I have the ladies add in a weighted vest who are on my 8-week challenge. You may go and do some hill walking. You know, I've got there's massive hills here where I'm staying, and as I said, steps up to my accommodation that are really challenging. You may actually just put the incline on the treadmill, as I've said earlier, or you're going to go for longer or a different route. Just do something to keep your body guessing so that you still feel the difference when you are actually walking. And it might just be just increasing the step count as well. Changing your scenery and doing things differently also keeps you motivated, because it adds some sort of interest to it and it's not boring, is it? So that way you can keep on going with this for the rest of your life. Now I'm going to talk about my personal walking routine. I get up and go for a walk for about 40 minutes every day before breakfast. And then through the day, I'm going to be working on getting my steps in rather than a strict, this is a walk today. So the first walk of the day is structured, and then what I'm trying to do through the day is just get as many steps in as possible. So I'm away at the moment. I would call it a vacation, but it's a working holiday. And what I'm doing is when I go anywhere, I walk everywhere. And I do that at home. Then I get on the walking pad at home. So when I'm on meetings and I'm on calls, I'm going to get on the walking pad because it's just going to up my step count, and it's a really easy way to do it. If you didn't want to do that, where you do a 40-minute walk at the start of the day, maybe you haven't got time, you could split it up into 2 walks or 3 walks even. You know, whatever works best for you. You could actually, when you go to the gym, get on the treadmill and walk for 20 minutes after your strength training workout, and do a walk as a warm-up as well. So those are just some options for you. Let me know in the comments, how helpful did you find this video about walking? And do you love walking, or do you love running like I did and you're like, no, I'm never going to change, I love running? I do find that running is not an effective way for menopausal women to actually lose weight, in my experience. And when people switch to a different form of exercise like walking, they do find when they're limiting their cardio like this, they get much better results. Now, if you want a program where you've got all of this covered, I am running my 8-week transformation challenge for women over 40, where you can win a whopping $20,000. And there are also prizes of $2,000 and $100 as well to keep you motivated throughout the challenge. And women are getting absolutely incredible results from this challenge. And many of them are doing walking, just as we've discussed on this video, but walking with a weighted vest. So it's absolutely attainable for anybody to achieve this kind of success. So click the link in the description, and if it's not going on at the moment, what you can do is enter your email address, and I will email you when the doors open on the next challenge.